Nathan was out of town a few months back, and I was bored. And I happened to start looking for Nathan's mom, and because I knew her full name, and I looked at Darlene Ryer, and I happened to find her on Facebook. So I remember calling Nathan on the phone, and I told him, "Hey, I think I found your mom on Facebook. Let's write her. Let's see if it's her." He looks at her profile, and he's like, "Yep, I think this would be her."
It was her. And at that point, I took it a step further and got a background check, paid for just a regular background check, and looked up possible addresses to send letters to and phone numbers to call, just to get in contact, see where she is. And in doing so, we found a court document for a possible paternity of myself and Mariano Santiago. And Teresa's just like, "Hey, that could be your dad. Let's look him up now."
Yeah.
So we did a background check for him, and then we, I think there was a couple numbers on there that we called.
Yeah, we called like every number that was given on the background check that we paid for, and nothing. We couldn't, there was nothing that we could get hold of. And then finally, I kept seeing Facebook for Katie, and I'm like, "No, this can't be This can't be right." So I kept searching and searching for someone else that was named Santiago or Mariano or something, and then by the end of the day, Nate was already tired. He's like, "I'm going to bed." And finally, I was just like, "Okay, I'm just gonna look at this Katie Santiago." And I kept telling Nate, I said, "All I need is one picture, just one picture to see, if something or someone looks like Nate." So I did that, and it was like maybe 12 o'clock at night. And I'm going through Katie's profile, and I see this man. I was like, "Wow, I think this could look like Nate." So I got one of the pictures, and I got one of Nathan's pictures, and I put them side by side, and I said, "Oh my gosh." I said, "This is Nate's dad." I remember running to the room. I said, "Nate."
She woke me up at
"I think I found your dad." Then he was nervous after that too. He was just like, he kept thinking, like, "What if this is? Did she really find my dad?" So,
and then, in that background check, we found the Mariano Santiago, and then we found the paternity, and then we also, in calling everybody, there were some addresses on there. Yeah. So we wrote the most recent address. We wrote a letter to it in Sandy, Utah. And then Teresa wrote Katie on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Twice. She wrote one underneath a comment of hers, and then she messaged her.
"Hi, can you please respond back?"
Yeah, Katie probably thought this was the crazy lady.
Yeah.
From California.
Yeah, but not thinking to myself, I kept talking about Nathan, which we all know Nathan is not his original name.
Right.
So, and it didn't even click in my head.
But once we wrote the letter to the address in Sandy, I addressed it as it was coming from Jarvick, Ryer, which was my birth name. And sure enough, we got a response back on it, which I thought was just the biggest trip ever. I didn't think I was gonna get a response back, let alone that he knew of me and that he was trying to find out if I was his kid a long time ago.
I actually got the mail that day, which I normally don't. Mariano usually gets it because he's usually home first.
Yeah.
And I saw this envelope, and I saw Jarvick Ryer on the return address, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I mean, mainly because a little backstory is that a year after we were married, we received notice that Mariano might have a son.
Yeah.
And we wanted to have custody of him, so we requested DNA testing, which we never heard back from. So the whole case was
Kind of
dismissed about 6 or 8 months after this whole thing started. And so when I saw the envelope, I was scared. I was a little nervous. Of course, I was curious, because we had talked about, I wonder how Jarvick is, and wondering where he was and what he was doing, and if he'd gotten out of Ohio or whatever. So yeah, and then always in the back of your mind, you always think, is this going to be trouble?
Yeah.
Or is this going to be good?
Yeah. So I got home and she kind of handed it to me, and she goes, "Look what came in the mail." And I looked at it, and I knew immediately, Jarvick Greer. And she said, "Open it." And I had no problem opening it. I really didn't. And it was Nathan. He was telling us all about, how he found me, and on the paternity paper that was filed back when, and he was wondering if I was his dad. He was reaching out and trying to, he was wondering if I was his father.
And he did reiterate a couple times in the letter, "I just want information." And
so he stated there, he said he's not looking for anything or wanting anything. He's just looking for a root. And I think he was surprised when I told him, "Hey, let's do a DNA and see if we're father and son," because we didn't get a chance. Never ever.
We really wanted to know this whole 23 years.
Yeah.
We really wanted to know.
Yeah.
I did, and I actually knew deep in my heart that he was ours.
And so we went and he was all agreeable, and I said okay. He wanted to help pay for it, but I told him no. I insist. Let me just take care of this. And so we immediately went down to it was the next day. We set up an appointment for the lab to test.
We got the legally binding, the one that holds up in court.
Yeah,
and we're going, okay, we're going to make this real. Yeah.
That was kind of funny when they told us that. Oh no, this is a legal one. This is everything's on the up and up.
Not your $5.99 on the corner. Maybe you are. Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of neat to find out when all was said and done. We were kind of anxious, a lot of things going through your mind when even while they were performing the test, right? It took like a week or so, a week, and we didn't get results back for that long.
I think, yeah.
So your mind races. Your mind just kind of takes off. What if he's not mine? What if
what do we do?
What
do we do if he's not? What kind of a relationship do we request?
What do you do?
Of that.
It's really hard. It's a strange situation to be in.
And then we get the letter in the mail, and we had made each other promise that whoever got the letter first, we weren't going to open it without the other one. We had to wait for them to be home to open it. Yeah. So I don't remember who got the letter or whatever, but it was like, okay, it's here. Let's open it. And it was like 99.99999%. There was. They were chicken to say 100%. He's yours.
It was good. I was kind of relieved at that time.
Called him immediately,
and Katie kind of shamed him into saying, "Go ahead, go ahead, say it."
I said,
"Say it."
I said, "Hi, son." And there was dead silence on the other end of the line, you know, and he's just like, and you can just tell that they're trying to process, what did she just say to me? You know, and they're trying to process that through. And as we were weird. Hanging up, Mariano said, well, son, and I said, go ahead. Come on, Nathan, you got to say it. He says, okay, Dad.
God, it was so hard coming out.
It was. It was like him spitting rocks out, you know.
It was funny because you could sense it in his voice, you know.
Yep.
God.
He's going, I've never said the Dad word ever.
No kidding.
So the day Mariano was coming, I could not sit down for the life of me. I kept on walking back and forth in front of the door, in front of the window, like a child, you know, waiting for Christmas to come. I was just nervous. I just, you know, your stomach's turning, you know, just images or thoughts are going through your head. It's just like, how's this gonna be? You know, what are you supposed to say? What are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to react? It's just a whole bunch of stuff at one time. It's just craziness.
You know, I really got anxious when we made that turn at Peyton. I said, man, we're really close by now.
I know, and my heart started to pound, and my stomach started to turn a little bit. You know, I'm just thinking about.
We pulled up, yeah.
Wow, what if the kids don't like me?
Yeah.
What if the kids don't like us?
I know.
What if I smelled funny to them? Neither of us really said too much on the way about what was going on. It was more like, you know, we're watching the map, watching the road, and just
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And then as we turn down and I see Gingham Court.
Yeah.
Oh man. And we pull up here and they open the door.
I know.
And when I saw Nathan's face, I cried. I really did, because he's Mariano's, and I'm just like, oh my God, he's for real.
You know, when as soon as I saw him pull up, I was like, dang, this is for real. Do I go out the back, or what do I do now? I was just so nervous, you know, I didn't know what to tell him. I didn't know, do we hug, do we shake hands, do we high five, you know. I didn't know, you know, so. You know, he pulled up, and he was kind of lingering outside for a while, and I was kind of lingering inside for a while, watching him. And finally I just opened the door, and, you know.
When he first came out, it was like, you know, I think he put his hand up, and I wanted to hug him.
Yeah. No. And Jacob looks exactly like another nephew, Johnny Angel. He looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
And the kids are kind and warm, and they all came up to us, and
yeah, it was.
I mean, you know.
And it was like, "Hi, Grandpa. Hi, Grandpa." I'm going, "Oh my God!" It was amazing, you know, to see them in the face, because you see them in their face, and it's just a different deal, you know. To be talking to them and texting to them is, well, you see them in the face, and you know, Nathan, you know, I was looking at him, and so you try to, you know, you're looking at all these features he has on his face.
Just happiness, you know. I was just happy to finally meet my father, you know, meet the guy that I've been talking over the phone with the past few weeks, and you know, the time we spent this past weekend, and you know, the things he did for my kids, and you know, the things that we did, you know, together as, you know, family, you know, the places we went to hang out, and just the little talks we had, and just, you know, everything. It just felt right, felt good, you know, felt like I needed this. You know, I didn't feel like I needed it before, but you know, after it's happened, I felt like I did need it.
And at the first part of his life, I don't think Nathan was dealt a very good hand of cards. Mm-hmm. You know, he could have been a very angry man, sure. and he's not. And I think that it's so awesome, and he's so blessed to have the people around him through his life. he has a fabulous support system, and they, you know, and I really don't know that when we first found out that he could have been Mariano's, that we were the best place for him.
Yeah.
So I think the universe plucked him away from us for a little while and said, nope, not yet. You know, we need some help with him. You guys need to get your act together before you get this boy, this young man, you know, and there's other things that have to happen before he can be yours. And wow.
Nathan's a kind guy, you know, he's a real nice guy. And it was like really easy to talk to him.
And you know, and
I actually told him that, you know, hey, you know, one thing that I was really happy for is that he was alive, you know, because I really didn't, you know, with the situation with his mom and everything, I didn't know that he was even going to survive the streets or wherever, you know, I just didn't know. We didn't know.
I can't wait to meet Warren, my family. See more about where I come from. And for the longest, I just thought I was a Mexican. I had no idea I was Puerto Rican.
It's good to see the puzzle pieces come together.
Yeah,
It's
I was
nice.
wondering where this curly stuff came from. I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Especially Zoe's hair. So.
I was happy, you know, had the biggest smile on my face, you know, during this time.
The 3 days weren't enough.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
It wasn't enough, that was for sure. It just felt like it flew by once he got here. It felt like it took forever for it to come. And then once he was here, it just glided right along and went by so fast.
Yeah.
And then it was over. The kids were sad.
Mm-hmm.
They were asking when Grandpa and Grandma Mariano Santiago are coming back.
When the kids refer to me as Grandpa, I draw a blank somewhat.
I know.
You know, she pokes me in the ribs. Hey, that's you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going, oh yeah, kiddos.
I don't think anybody could have ever written this script.
Well, you know, they have. You know, we can talk to Dr. Phil or somebody like that.
I want Jerry Springer. Are you kidding me? This has got to go Springer.
But it was, you know, you see all this, you see all that stuff on television. It's happening to me.
Yes.
You know, it's
yes.
happening to me.
Yes.
That was crazy because normally you hear about stories where, you know, the father's not there, it's because he doesn't want to be there. And kind of in this case, it's not that. It's just kind of good to know.